Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Testnut channel. I'd like to welcome Tim Elgin back with me today. He's in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. He's doing the MacQueen tents lately at the festivals in his region of the country, and he's here to talk with us about some exciting news concerning Clan MacQueen. How you doing, Tim?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. Thanks for coming back.
Well, thank you for having me back on here. Several years ago, during researching our family, we um, were a part of a Clanhattan tent at Grandfather Mountain. And being the only McQueens that were there, we just kind of helped out, stood around with them as McQueens came through. We were able to talk to them and meet a few people.
Right.
Um, a general consensus that I got from a lot of people when they come through, they kept asking us, why are we not having our own tent? Why are we not being represented? And also, we were like, let's look into this. Me and my wife sit down and we talked and everything. We decided, well, let's do a tent. Let's try to get us out there.
Right.
So, thanks to our work with Clan Hatton, we were able to turn that around to starting our own tent.
Hmm.
And then last year, last February, the president for the Grandfather Mountain Games asked us, he said, would you be interested in starting the McQueen organization? There is not
Really?
not one. The McQueens need someone to be able to help pull everybody together, to be able to say, hey, this is who we are. And we took a year to do the research, see if there's another group out there, if
Yeah.
anybody else is doing this, you know, what some of the other McQueens feel about it as far as, us doing it compared to somebody else doing it. No one really had an interest in really starting it or stepping forward and doing it.
Hmm.
So we said, so let's do it. And we got the ball rolling. And as of February of this year, the Clan McQueen Society of America is now official.
Nice.
So we are now taking members and we're trying to pull people in to try to get as many people from not just America, even though we say Society of America, we mean Canada too. This is North America. We want
Yes.
everybody to come into this.
I figured by the name that was pretty much to encompass Canada as well as
Yes.
Mexico. Yes.
Yeah, because there is a lot of people in Canada, especially around Nova Scotia,
Mm,
that have had some interest in wanting to be a part of this as well.
great.
Um, so that means there's going to be a footprint in the Northeast. So that's going to be great once we get, you know, everything rolling and get a little more under our feet, I guess you can say. Um, our main goal is to be a spot for the McQueens to come together. We will have a website up shortly. That'll be a place for everybody can come and meet, find other family members, other ties,
Right.
just a place for everybody to be able to, hey, we're a McQueen. Now I can find some information. Now I can find some other relatives, some other family trees, and enjoy it, explore, and learn about the McQueens themselves.
Right. You have a fairly good presence online. I mean, not you, well yourself as well, but I mean, as McQueens are pretty knowledgeable and vocal on a few of the Facebook groups I've seen. Um,
Yes, they are.
right.
Yeah, I've been happy to that. A lot of what we've met, we've gotten some, mostly positive feedback from it. No one's really said, hey, you know, we should have done it a different way. No one's really come up and said, they wanted to step in and be, something different. So to me, we all have the same idea. We all want to be able to teach others, to give the information to others. There's some people that's got extensive family trees that they've already done the research on,
Yeah.
and I would love once everything is all the little pieces are put together that we can bring that in and other people can see the work that they've done as well. That it's not just us, it's all the McQueens, all the Seps, everything that is a part of the McQueens coming together to say, hey, we might be a small clan, but we are here.
Right. I can't see your shirt too good there. Put your shirt put the thing.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Nice. Oh yes. Very nice. Tim was telling me everybody about how good of a feeling it is sometimes when you get someone at the tent, you're talking to them about their line, and someone else walks in, or they just left, or whatever it is, and hey, they were just here. You've got to be cousins and this and that. It's a great feeling to get a handle on this thing and get a feeling for where these lines interconnect, and that you really are truly all cousins. You know?
Yes, we are. I mean, there's a lot of people that, they might be missing one little piece of their family tree,
Yep.
and they have no one that, know where they don't know how to find that piece. And by having more of us together, they might be able to find that piece they need. And that's all
Right.
it really takes. And we are, it's we've met McQueens in Australia online. We've met some, of course, in Scotland and on the Isle of Skye. There's people that are in Africa and South Africa that are McQueens. In the Caribbean, South Pacific, we have met people from all over that are all trace ourselves back to the same lines.
Yep. I was just on with Jacob Queen last week. There's a segment on the channel now, on the Touchdown channel, about that and all the lines that he's been tracing and things. It's very fascinating.
Our hope is as we're going forward, once we kind of get our footprint down and we get established a little bit to where um, other people are wanting to do more in other communities, whether it's,
Yeah.
here in the Southeast like us, or um, we have people in Colorado, South Dakota, Alabama, Oklahoma. If these other people are all, wanting to help as well and wanting to become, governors at games in their areas,
Yes.
our hope is to be able to slowly start, helping them along as well. To have the information that we can send out to say, here's you some stuff to get you going. Um, in doing so, what we would like to do is actually we're considering using ambassadorship, giving someone as, you're our representative here and letting
Mhm.
them work that way to where they don't feel like they're just doing it. Give them a little bit of pride of being part of the society themselves as
Yep.
being a part of it.
Yeah, it's a truly wonderful feeling too. I've said this 100 times, I'm sure at least, but it's a wonderful feeling when someone walks in and says and shakes your hand and says, "Thanks for." I'm not a McQueen, but that said it would go like this. Thanks so much for having the McQueen tent here. It means so much to my family to have you here, and it's something you can't put in a box and take with you or even name. It's a feeling, and it's an amazing one. It's one of a kind, and people like you do it, but you can't be everywhere, Tim. So that's what Tim's looking for. People is to broaden the scope of McQueen within North America.
Yeah, because that is our hope with the games here. Um, Grandfather Mountain is an hour from me, so
Yeah,
that is, I guess you can say, our home games.
sure.
That is where, our presence will be at yearly. We'll be,
Great.
doing a lot of work out of Grandfather. But we're wanting to slowly start hitting different games in the area and moving out to where we may not hit the same festival every year, but we're going to try to hit them in different areas to where we can get more people to connect and bring more people in.
Okay.
Um, that is the whole point of us this year. We're going to the Smoky Mountain Games in Townsend, Tennessee.
Hmm.
So this will be our first time ever going up there. We have a lot of members that are already saying they're going to be there because there's a lot of McQueens in that area.
Great.
So we even have family members coming up from the Carolinas, from North Carolina and South Carolina, to come up to Tennessee for the games as well. So, we're hoping to have a pretty good turnout just from who we know is coming, and not to mention who, you know,
Right.
all the meetings you meet there.
I was trying to look at my calendar. What is that, the 16th and 17th of May, or
The 17th and 18th of May.
17th and
It's
18th
at
of May?
yes,
Smoky
at the
Mountain.
Townsend Visitor Center in Townsend, Tennessee.
Ah, all right, great. and I know there might be other Hatton tents there and that kind of thing. I'm trying to think. I think that might be the one that Davidson was honored clan at last year, but I may have that wrong. I get a lot of those down that section of the country mixed up, of course. I'm in New England. I have my own to worry about up here, but
Yes, yeah. Yeah, because we've considered heading if you're away. It may not be next year, but that is one that is on our calendar to move up into your area too, to
okay.
take a trip up and say hello and put a tent up there with you at the No Fame Games. And
Yeah, but we can't get to all of them.
no, no, because we've been invited to several games from the coast of Virginia down to the panhandle of Florida. They find out the McQueens have a tent, and we're like, "Hey, you're not here. We would love to have you down here, but like you said, we can't be everywhere."
Right.
So that's part of the society as being a grassroots base to branch out from for everybody to be able to, hey, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. Well, we'll help you do that. We'll give you the information you need, you
Mhm.
know, what needs to be done, how you need to make things look, ideas of how you can create it yourself
Right.
and get others to help do the McQueen tents all across the Americas.
Right. I mean, the willingness and the passion is really all it takes, folks. And if you say, "Oh, I'm not a real history student," well, you don't have to be, at least not at first. It'll become second nature after a while. Just there with a handshake and some shade for a moment while you talk or whatever, that kind of thing. Just the home away from home
Yeah.
for your clansfolk to come visit you. It's really what this is. It's no talent about it. Maybe hitting a tent stake in straightly. That might be a talent you need, but other than that, it's um, just a willingness to participate. And the rewards are great. They truly are.
Yeah, because there's people that we've met, that not just McQueens. Um, at the games, you know how it is. You have so many people, the crowd is always moving by you. So
Yeah.
people step in, see something interesting that you have, and you strike up a conversation.
Right.
They learn a little bit, you learn a little bit, and the whole weekend's become you walk away with so much that you've absorbed that you got to sit down and just think about and try to remember everything that happened because you meet so many people at these events.
Right. I hope you might be able to arrange them on the microphone down there. Tell them, in here for their inaugural uh, presence as the Queen, claim of Queen Society of America or something.
Yeah, we're hoping to do some video works at both of the games. They may not be especially at Grandfather because you're up on a mountain, so internet and Wi-Fi is not that good within the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So is that in order to go Facebook Live and things, you mean that may not work out so well?
yeah, we might be able to in Tennessee. Like I said, we haven't been there, but it being the area, I think has a little bit more better service.
Right.
So we will do videos. They just won't be live.
Right. Yeah. And
No.
that grandfather is such a great place to have as a home. I was going to say to have as a home games, as a home field, you might say, for the Queen. That's just fantastic. The place has such a history attached to it, and it's great that you can take advantage of everything that goes on there. It's a whole structure and something. I'm not familiar with it, but I've been learning a little bit online, looking at what they do down there, and they're a society, they're a family there.
Yeah, and the McQueens were one of the first clans at Grandfather Mountain. They were one of the founding clans.
Really?
So to be able to bring it back, that's why the president there thought it was such a wonderful thing for us to be able to bring McQueen back there.
Wow.
Um, there's actually a ceremonial cairn they have there, and there's the plaque that lists all the clans that were the first clans there, and on the within the cairn they have a rock that was brought over from everybody's home area in Scotland and was placed into the cairn right there as well.
Wow.
That is a neat piece to see anytime you go through there. Everybody stops to see it.
Right. So just as you told me that well, members of new members this year of the Clay McQueen Society of America will be known as founding members. And by the same token, Clay McQueen itself is a founding member, a founding stone, cornerstone of the Grandfather Highland Games, which is a wonderful tie-in.
Yeah, and that's why it means a lot to be there.
Oh yeah.
So, we're hoping, the other big game in the area is Stone Mountain in Georgia.
Oh yes.
Hopefully that would be a week trip to go down and do their game sometime as well. Because I know there's from my line itself, there's a lot of McQueens that went from the Carolinas through Georgia and Alabama. So the games down there will be, you know, a good point for a lot of them to come into and to meet a lot of McQueens as well.
Right. Right in the whole area where you and I discussed in December, right, Tim, about all the turmoil that was going on and all the Spanish government, U.S. government,
Yeah,
um, the native tribes, and all that. Right in that area, Alabama,
yeah,
Georgia, Florida.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure is.
Hmm. What was
And
it?
I know when you get as far as in North Carolina around Fayetteville, there is a large footprint of McQueens that were there too. So the Scotland games, we've been asked to go out to the games there at Scotland County.
Mhm.
And hopefully that, like I said, that's another one that we have earmarked. So there is a lot of games in the area that, unfortunately having day jobs, we can't hit all of them. So we
Yep.
have to work them as we can until we get people that want to work them. This weekend is Loch Norman right outside of Charlotte. So
Oh
unfortunately, our
yes.
schedules, we can't make it there this year. We would have loved to have, but you know, Townsend's coming up in just a month. So
Right. Yeah. Since I started the touchdown and everything, people, well, it's just human nature. They say, "Are you going to be here? Are you going to be there? You're going to be in Arizona? Or are you going to be in Florida?" And you know, you want to earmark things, but your wallet has to earmark them too.
yeah,
So
and I tell everybody if we're not there, go find the Clan Hatton tent. Wear your
yeah,
McQueen colors. Go see them there because even though we may not be at the games, you know, Clan Hatton is, we're part of the Confederation. Go there. You know, be a part of it still. Don't just go. If we're not there, we're not going. Still go.
right.
Have fun, enjoy it. We did the St. Patrick's Day parade
Oh, that's right.
in South Carolina, for St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
That was everyone's like, but you're Scottish, but there was also a tie-in with the McQueens and the Ulster Scots. So we
Okay.
went to represent that, and we loved it and had a blast. And next year we have a lot of people that are wanting to come back down there and do it. We might be putting a float in the parade next year. So it's slowly getting bigger, and that's what we're really enjoying to see.
Great. Yeah, I don't want to miss saying up here in New England where I am, if anybody's McQueen listening and watching this, and you'd like to get involved, come see me at the Clanhatton tent. I'm at 6 or 8 of the festivals up here every year in New England. So Clanhatton Association tent with the touchdown shirt commonly. This is my no fame game shirt from last year, but um, and I'll help you get started with this McQueen angle because this is a great thing to get going on. We do have McQueens in New England. You know me if you look, if you see me, you know me. I know you. I've met you. There's been no tents here. That's true, but we can make it happen, and I'll be here to help you out if you'd like to.
Oh, yes, we do appreciate that. I mean,
Uh,
that's what we need is just, a few helping hands. There's a lot of people that have already stepped up saying, they want to help, you know, they're in the process of seeing what they can do in their area. So as that grows, as we talk back and forth, it may not be this year, it may be next year, but the tents and other areas is starting to move. So that will be something coming up in the future.
sure. Yeah, we could start a little thing online if you want. Where I'm going to be. If there's some McQueens that definitely want to meet me there, and make a date of it, that kind of thing, and to expect them, then and then we'll do that too. Um,
Yeah. And there's a lot of games, and if someone wants us to be somewhere, drop us a line. Let us know, hey, we would love to see you here. You know, part of what we've talked about is, you know, we may not set a tent up one year. We may go visit. We may come up there, be at the Clinton Hatton tents,
Yes,
you know, check it out, see it, meet some people up there and say, okay, this is fun. This is great. There's a lot of people here. Let's come back next year and set a tent up.
sure, that'll
It
be
gives us
great.
a chance to check a lot of games out. There's festivals that may not be necessarily a Scottish game. It's just a Scottish festival or something. Let us know.
Right.
If it's something you'd like to see us there, drop us a line.
Yeah, and I know you said in was it California or the Northwest a while ago there was some McQueen presence. Um,
Yeah, there was a large group. I mean, they had some beautiful, they put some time into it. They had the custom tents, the banners and flags, of course,
yeah,
all the information. And um, right around COVID, they kind of quit doing festivals. I'm not sure what happened on their end out there, but
yeah.
I've touched base with a few of them that were doing it, but they're not doing any games out there right now.
Mm,
I would love to be able to pick that back up and get it started out there again, but
right.
in time.
Yeah, it'll happen. And you probably know, I hope you do if you're listening, but Quinn's and Queen, we've been saying McQueen about 1,000 times in the last half an hour, but Quinn, Sweeney, Sweat, is it
Yeah.
Sven, McSweeney, all these, McQuinn, O'Quinn, I think even. You just put a
Yeah.
list
Yeah.
online, right? You just put a list online, Tim. It's
Yes, I did.
about 10
You
inches
know,
tall on my phone, or 3 feet tall on my phone with McQueen related surnames, which I was pretty surprised at.
yeah, I mean, and even a discussion that even came up from that, there are um, with the McSween's, there are tie-ins to where we have some of the same steps, some of the same names.
Oh, yeah.
So, you might say, oh, this is part of McQueen, but it could also lean to another clan somewhere else. It's the families intertwined so much. If you went back generations back, the McQueens were technically a septum McDonald.
Hmm.
So, that in its own, we branched out on our own. So it shows how you evolved. And that's what we're doing now. We're taking one more step to try to be a little bit more.
Yep. And that little bit you just detailed there is detailed much further down with Jacob Queen and myself in that segment from last week. We talked about
Yes.
The Ranald in particular, I think, section of McDonald's and another clan McRory that's involved and such. But
Hmm.
yes, very intricate, very complicated. But Jacob did a good job of smoothing out the corners for me a little bit and presenting it to us. So
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy it.
He's got a lot of detailed work that I've seen as far as how he's traced, not only his family back, but part of the McQueens themselves back.
Yes.
Um, and that is part of what we're going to be doing once we get our website actually up for everybody to view. We're going to start bringing in to where we have historians that you can connect to. Some of the people that do a lot of the DNA and genetic work,
Yeah.
you'll be able to have links to them to help you tie into and find out information on that. Plus, all the other McQueens out there. There are several other Facebook groups. We would love to have them at least, linked into our website once we get it done to where, it's not just us,
Yep.
it's all the McQueens. We want the people to go wherever they want, get the information they want, meet as many people as they want. We're just trying to pull it all together into one bowl for everybody to pick out of.
Nice. Yeah. I like to think I reach all over the world with the channel, and I do, but and there are McQueens, and I've talked to some of the clans folk from Hatton in South Africa. In fact, in May, I plan to have someone on about McPherson. But there was a McQueen I think I talked to briefly think it was South Africa. Um, but yeah, anybody who's listening, get Tim's on Facebook, right? It's the same name on Facebook, Clan MacQueen
Yes,
Society of America. We'll put that all on here,
yes,
but um, right. Um, it's
yeah,
still a clansfolk and a family, no matter what title it has.
that's right. That's right. And I know we've discovered the other day, just by happenstance, there is actually a pipe band that's in Australia
Yeah.
that uses the McQueen tartan for their pipe band.
Oh, nice.
So um, we're hoping to be able to get some information from them. I'd love to have a picture of, you know, the pipe band with the tartan in the tent,
Right.
and I'll kind of let everybody see, hey, our is represented everywhere.
I guess I'm a little bit biased on these hat and tartans, but that is certainly a beauty of it. That gold yellow stripe going through it, and it's a sharp, it's a sharp tartan. It certainly is.
Yeah, it's one that it's easy to spot when I see it out. It's like, oh, hey, come here. You're a McQueen.
I'm always thankful when something's a little bit easier to spot too, because some of these things, it's 12 or 14, just so close to it, but that's not one of them. That's one of the ones I can really zing right in on now. Took me a long time to get that way. Believe me, with 12 coins an hour.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Because
But
someone will walk up to the tent and then they'll look at down at their kilt as if, and then they'll look at me kind of like, "What's wrong with you? You didn't notice my something right away." And for a long time, I kind of paid the price for that, not recognizing people. They expect you to, and I
yeah,
just
I've had
didn't.
that too. A lot of people will see ours, and I always tell them, look for the four red fingers. That's the easiest way that people can distinguish ours. The for a lot of the clans don't have the same, a lot of the same markings. They're very similar, so you got to find that one little piece that you can look out for to
Okay,
distinguish them. It's there are so many.
right. And what a feeling to hold that on the banner pole, Tim, isn't it? A grandfather in Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
Another one of the beautiful rewards of this is to hold that banner on the field in the sun, not always in the sun, but
Mhm.
amongst the other clans, proudly and just represent your whole history and your blood to the world at that moment. That's a thing, folks. That's a real thing. My goodness.
Yeah, because when we do the clan parades, I know we do them at Grandfather, and I do believe they do them at Smoky Mountain as well.
Oh,
We
yep.
tell everybody, if you're going to be at the games during the parade, join us. Get out there on the
Yeah.
field with us, march behind the banner. You know, it make that pride of it. Hey, we're here. You're walking with everybody, and letting everybody see that. You know,
Yep.
you're a part of it. I guess you can say. And then even the parade of tartans with, like you said, all the banners, all the flags pulled together, and seeing all of that in one big rip, and to be right in the midst of it, it's great to be able to say, "Hey, we're here."
Yeah. You probably heard me say this too. Um, it's a great gift to be able to give to people at these festivals that really cost me nothing. I mean, it cost me money to go there and everything, but it cost me nothing to say to someone, "Hey, you want to hold this? Do you want to carry this banner?" And they're just like, you know, really? And
Yeah,
they're just amazing. And they go by their cousins or whatever with me, and they're cheering them on, and they have the best.
exactly.
And if they knew it last week and we like set it up, it wouldn't have been as neat as if that moment I just said, "Hey, how about you?" And they say yes, and they just never forget it. It's neat, and neither do I.
Yeah, we had people that showed up actually the day of the parade, for the clan parades, and did not realize we were even doing it. Just happened to, hey, we're McQueens. This is great.
Yeah,
And we're like, would you like to walk with us? We're like, Yes, and they rushed out real quick and would go buy a shirt or a scarf or
Yeah.
a pin,
Yeah.
something to say, I've got my colors on. And that we're so excited that we're allowing them to walk with us.
Yep.
And they're like, we just met, but you're a McQueen. Be a part of us. Step in here. You know, we can talk during the parade. We can talk after the parade.
Yep.
You can be a part of it as well.
That's what it's all about right there. Exactly. And we're running out of time, unfortunately, but I think we've run our course here. I've said everything I wanted to say about the Clan McQueen Society of America. What about you, Tim Elgin?
Oh yeah, well, like I said, we'll be at Smoky Mountain. It'll be May 17th and 18th. We'll
Okay.
be at Grandfather Mountain on July 10th through the 13th.
Yep.
So come out and see us. Be a part of it.
Right. And so if you haven't got your grandfather, is it grandfather's like Loon Mountain in New Hampshire? Probably you should really get your grandfather story in the books by in another week or two, probably. I don't know about Smoky Mountains, but um, I know it takes a lot of planning.
Yes, yeah. It's up in the away from everything. So, hotels,
Right.
camping has been booked for months.
Yeah.
So we have we have plenty of areas around there, but it is grandfather's interesting. It's right in the middle of all the stones, the boulders. It looks so much like what you see from the highlands.
Right.
It's amazing.
So if you can't get to see Tim in person this year, please see him on Facebook at Clan McQueen Society of America, and the website is coming out soon as well. And he's got information on there how you can join the new society and become a part of it, and get McQueen back in the public view where it's always belonged. And Tim's working hard to do it, and you can help him out. So uh, please get a hold of Tim, folks. We'll have all the information on here after I produce this lovely talk we've done here. Thank you, Tim, so much for being with us on the Touch channel.
Yeah, thank you too. Look forward to it again.
All right, good. Glad we could fit it in. Have a good day, sir, and good luck at Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
All right, touch not everyone.